I did, this shows you, I suppose, where my instincts lie. It was about Chen Guangcheng. This was about 7 years ago. It was 2005, and I heard there was this blind lawyer holed up in his house down in Shandong. And I went down there to go see him, and I got to the house, I got to the front door, and then these guys kind of muscled me away. And I mean, it's just an amazing thing to think about the fact that he's been living in that situation ever since then. Wow. It tells you a little bit about why he ran and why he came to Beijing. But one other sort of interesting fact about that. So the story was about the fact that in 2005 there was, in the area where he lived, there was this pattern of, there was a one-child policy that was being implemented in a way that was very, that was abusive, it was violating the law and so on. And there were people who were being detained in a building in the middle of town in order to force their relatives to consent to forced abortion and forced sterilization. So basically, you know, if you were about to have a second child and the local family planning official said that wasn't allowed, then they would take your mother or your aunt or your father and they would detain that person until the young woman paid either the fee or agreed to this procedure. So I went to the middle of town. It shows you what China was like in 2005. I mean, it's the same in some ways now, but I went to this town and they were up in this building. Everybody knew where the little jail was, the black jail. I'm standing down the street and they're calling down to me and they're saying, we're up here, we have to pay $390 if we want to get out. And I'm saying, how long have you been up there? And they're saying, I've been here 2 weeks. And somebody else was like, I've been here a month. And the thing that's amazing about it was life was going on around completely uninterrupted. People had priced this into their understanding of China and what was required in order for China to function and grow. Now, if you look at what's happening last week, 2 weeks ago, you had a woman named Feng Jian, 23 years old in Shanxi, who was subject to a forced abortion. And that story became a sensation. I mean, it was the story on the Chinese internet. It was, you know, it was forwarded 1 million times. There were thousands and thousands of comments. Her experience in and of itself was not unique by any means. It was something that there were a lot of people that could relate to it. But 7 years ago, which is nothing, that experience of those people was completely cut off from everything else. Nobody else knew that that was happening. Nobody else knew that there were other people going through the same situation. So the sheer fact of the web, it's a banal observation to point out the networking effect that the internet has had in China, but I don't think you can underestimate it. It's profound. It's made all of those people who were forwarding that message see themselves as a part of a community